Honestly, there's no point in attending the wedding of a sister who's turned out so poorly. I know I said I would go, but it just feels like such a hassle now. Plus, Dad will obviously be absent today, too.
Why is that? This is all happening way too suddenly. There are only 5 minutes left until the ceremony starts. I thought your in-laws would be greeting the guests by now, but if they don't show up...
Oh, can you please stop calling me non-stop? It's just so annoying. If I'm not responding, don't you think it's a clue that I'm not planning to attend?
How am I supposed to know that? You really think I can read your mind?
Oh, this is exactly why you're such a disappointment. Just look at your sister May. She's beautiful, graceful, and so smart. And then there's you. Honestly, I wish I had never had you.
Well, you could have just said something from the beginning that you weren't coming. I didn't want you guys to feel obligated to be here either.
Honestly, it was the venue that caught my interest. It looked so impressive. It seems far too grand for someone like you. A place like that deserves someone who can truly shine in it. May would look stunning in a dress there, but you? Well, you would just look out of place. It would be like putting a pearl on a pig. The venue would suddenly feel like a pigsty.
It sounds like you never even intended to celebrate in the first place.
Of course not. We don't have a hobby of going to see livestock. The money we would have spent on a gift is going towards a nice family dinner instead. You can just stay there and squeal like the ugly pig you are.
Is that really how you feel? You've always been so harsh. I may not be as perfect as me, but do you really think that treating me this way is justified? We're still family.
Family? Oh, maybe, but it doesn't mean I have to support everything you do. You've made so many poor choices, and this wedding is just another one of them. You should have considered how your actions affect those around you.
Well, if I had known you felt this way, I would have saved myself the trouble of even inviting you.
I don't need your pity invitation. Save it for someone who actually cares. Just remember, this isn't just about you. It's about family, and sometimes family means being honest, even if it hurts. It seems like your parents won't be able to make it, just as I predicted.
I'm really sorry about this.
Nicole, don't apologize. You haven't done anything wrong. Honestly, this is not your fault, but it looks like everything you've told me about them up until now is true, isn't it?
Yes, unfortunately. Even so, they're still my parents. I just thought I should at least thank them for raising me, even if it wasn't perfect. I guess in a way I was hoping for some form of closure, or maybe a little bit of acknowledgement from them. But it's silly that I even had such hopes, right?
No, it's not silly at all. Wanting love and recognition from your parents is natural. But what's not natural is the way they've treated you, the way they've neglected you and shown so much favoritism towards your sister. It's absolutely disgraceful. It makes me so angry.
It's okay. I've gotten used to it by now. My parents and my younger sister, they never really treated me like part of the family. My mom has always spoiled my sister, treating her like she can do no wrong, while I've been the one to bear all the criticism. I've been told I'm a disappointment more times than I can count. And my dad, he acts like I don't even exist most of the time. I'm sorry for bringing all of us up on what should be a happy occasion. I didn't mean to make things so gloomy.
Nicole, you have nothing to apologize for. It's not gloomy to share your truth, and it's not healthy to keep all of that pain bottled up. If you hide it away, it'll just continue to fester inside of you. You need to let it out. I'm so glad you trusted me enough to tell me how you really feel. That means a lot to me, more than you know. And from this day forward, I want you to think of me as your real mother. We're family now. You don't need to carry this burden alone anymore.
Mom, thank you so much. I don't even know how to express how much that means to me.
You don't have to thank me. I love you. And from now on, anyone who has ever hurt my daughter, well, they better prepare themselves. I won't ever forgive them for what they've done, not ever. Nicole, are you enjoying your wedding? We're at the hotel now, having lunch and popping open some champagne. Honestly, we're thinking of just staying the night here. This is just the best.
Oh, good for you.
Wait, what? What's that tone for? Are you jealous or something? Oh, I totally get it. You're spending all that money on such an expensive venue. The food must be so bland and disappointing, right? You see, trying to show off never works out. It's just so sad.
Why do you feel the need to mock me all the time? If you didn't want to be a part of my life, you didn't have to be. It's so petty and cruel. Why would you even want to go out of your way to do that?
What? Are you seriously this clueless? This is why you're nothing but a useless, ugly loser. The fact that you were even born was the biggest mistake. Dad and I have talked about it. May is the only child we ever needed. You're just in the way, a waste of space.
Yeah, I've always known. I'm not surprised.
Oh, really? Then why didn't you act like it? If you already knew you weren't wanted, the least you could have done was live quietly and stay out of sight. But no, you had to go ahead and get married. Oh, the nerve of you, honestly. Trying to get hitched before May? Do you realize how outrageous that is? You think you can get ahead of May? Oh, I mean, just look at yourself. And looking at the guy who picked you, he must be just as pathetic. It's like male pig and female pig. How perfect. You two were made for each other.
You know what? I've realized that talking to you is just a waste of my time. I was willing to give you a chance, if you apologized. I thought maybe, just maybe, there was a shred of decency in you. But it's clear now that there isn't, so forget it. I'm fine, but are you really sure you won't regret this?
Regret? Oh, not even a little. Apologize to you? That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. You begging for me to ask for forgiveness? Oh, please, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Alright then, I guess there's nothing more to say. But hey, how about I show you what the wedding really looks like? I'll send you some pictures and you can see for yourself. Does an Instagram link work for you? It's on my husband's account.
Sure, I'll take a look. I'm honestly dying to see how pathetic it looks. I can't wait to laugh at it. Send it over. This is going to be hilarious. Let's see. Wait, what? No way. What is this? Oh, this can't be real. No. You must have sent me the wrong account. This wedding looks way too fancy. There's no way this is yours. Stop messing around. This is embarrassing.
Look at the other post. Check out the video. I'm in it, cutting the cake. It's definitely my wedding. Go ahead, scroll through. You'll see me right there.
Wait, what is this cake? This is massive. It looks like something out of a celebrity wedding. Hold on. What's going on here? This can't be real. You're joking, right? You've got to be joking. This is insane. What fun are you getting out of making me feel like a fool?
Why would I go out of my way to mess with you? Honestly, I've got better things to do. Oh, and by the way, my husband, he's a CEO.
What? No way. You married to a CEO? Oh, this has to be some kind of mistake.
No, it's not a mistake. I was a secretary at his company. We worked together for a while and things just clicked. It's not as impossible as you think.
I heard you somehow managed to land a job at some big company, but wait, no one told me he was the CEO. Why didn't anyone tell me?
Because you never cared. Not about me, not about my life. When I told you all about my engagement, Mom was glued to her soap operas, and Dad was buried in his newspaper. Neither of you even pretended to listen. I told you about my life. You just chose not to hear it. So don't act surprised now. This is on you.
How? How did someone like you end up with a CEO? Oh, you must have blackmailed him or something, right? Oh, there's no way someone as ugly and pathetic as you could attract a CEO. This has to be some kind of scam. You must have tricked him. You've always been rotten to the core, and this just proves it.
Wow, your imagination is impressive. Honestly, it's a wonder how you come up with these things.
Whatever, if you're so smart, then why don't you trade places with May? Heck, May deserves someone like him way more than you do.
Excuse me? What did you just say?
You heard me. May should be with that CEO of yours. She's beautiful, elegant, and classy. They would make the perfect couple. You're nothing compared to her. It's honestly a joke that you even think you're worthy of him.
You've got to be kidding me. Are you seriously asking me to give up my husband for May? That's the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
You don't have a choice. Family comes first, doesn't it? You should prioritize the family. You can keep working and sending money home, and May can take your place as his wife. It's the least you can do for the family. It's only fair.
Wow, you really lost it. And let me tell you something. Even if I were crazy enough to go along with this, my husband would never agree. You're living in a fantasy world.
Huh. Once he meets May, he won't be able to resist her. No man can. May's beauty and charm are irresistible. Your husband will drop you in an instant once he sees her.
This is delusional. Truly, it is. I can't believe I've wasted so much time and money on you people. To think I've been funneling money into this family for years. It just makes me sick just thinking about it. Well, guess what? That's over now. I'm done. You're on your own.
What? You can't do that. How dare you? You're married to a CEO. You're rich now. You owe us. You better keep sending us everything you earn.
I don't owe you a thing. And why would I support a family that didn't even show up for my wedding? You've made it clear that I'm not part of the family. Well, guess what? You're not part of mine anymore either.
Fine, if that's how it is, I'll come to the wedding right now.
Huh?
If I show up, you'll have to recognize me as family, right? You've still got food left, right? Prepare everything. I'm coming to prove we're family. Once May arrives, your husband will fall head over heels for her. There's no way he'll resist her beauty. Just wait and see.
Wow. You really believe that, don't you? You're living in some kind of twisted fantasy. Sorry, but I'm banning you from the venue. You're not welcome here anymore.
What? You can't do that. We're family. You can't just throw us away.
You're not family to me anymore. I'm done with this.
I'm coming anyway. You can't stop me. You better be ready when I get there.
Good luck with that. You won't get past the front door.
Hello, my name is Bev. I think you might recognize me as Nicole's husband's mother. That might ring a bell, no? You're the mother of the CEO? Oh, hey, put Nicole on the phone right now. She hasn't been answering my calls or texts for hours. Don't you think it's disgraceful for a daughter to ignore her family like this? Oh my, it seems you're unaware of the situation. What are you talking about? Listen, lady, Nicole is nothing compared to our May. She's much prettier and has perfect character for a CEO's wife. If you let her attend the wedding, everyone would agree. People would love her instantly. No, I don't think so at all. In fact, I strongly disagree. What did you just say? Do you even know who you're talking to? You think you can just waltz in and say whatever you like? Yes, I do. After all, I'm Nicole's family now. No, we are her family, not you. Oh, really? Then why weren't you allowed into the venue? If you're truly her family, wouldn't you have been invited inside? No, at this point you're just strangers who happen to share some blood. How dare you? Oh, this is a family issue and you're nothing more than an outsider. Stay out of it. Now let us in or we'll make a scene. I'm afraid that won't be happening. The bride and groom are in the middle of enjoying their reception, and the last thing they need is for it to be ruined by an unwanted guest. So if I were you, I'd leave quickly. Unwanted guest? The real problem here is Nicole. She's always been a burden. If she hadn't been born, our family would have been perfect. But what would you know about any of that? Oh, so you're saying Nicole doesn't share blood with her father? Interesting. Wait, you knew? Yes, of course. It wasn't hard to figure out. You've remarried, haven't you? And with your new husband, you have a daughter. So Nicole, being from a previous marriage, doesn't fit into your idea of a perfect family, does she? How convenient. I must ask, though, can you really call yourself her mother if you treat her this way? If I had no choice! My first husband made good money, but he was ugly, so ugly. Oh, really? Yes, and then our daughter was born just as hideous. Every time I looked at her, I felt repulsed. I couldn't stand the thought of being stuck with that face forever, but I needed the child support, so after the divorce, I reluctantly took her in. It wasn't my fault. How could I raise such a hideous child? She's to blame, not me. No, absolutely not. Nicole isn't the one at fault here. Let me ask you again, can you honestly call yourself a mother? You're acting more like a spoiled child throwing a tantrum when things don't go your way. What did you just say to me? Nicole is a wonderful, kind, and capable young woman. She's thoughtful, hardworking, and diligent. My son tends to overwork himself, always pushing his limits. But Nicole is the one who helps him relax, who understands his true self and loves him just as he is. There is no one more perfect for him than Nicole, so for both their sakes, I'd appreciate it if you stopped interfering with their happiness. You have no idea what I've been through. How dare you lecture me? You didn't even try to understand Nicole's feelings, did you? Are you really that self-centered, needing to be the center of attention all the time? It's embarrassing that you expect your own daughter to take care of you like this. Shut up! I knew it! Only a pig would marry into a family like yours! Well, I'm glad you feel that way. Trust me, the feeling is mutual. I certainly don't want to be involved with people like you. Oh, I get it now. Nicole's probably been filling your head with lies about us, hasn't she? Making us out to be the villains here? Actually, no, I did my own research. What? Nicole didn't need to say anything. I could see how much pain she was in, and I decided to look into things myself. Turns out you're unemployed, living off Nicole's hard-earned money, and doing nothing to support yourselves. Her father was fired recently for gambling at work, wasn't he? And since then, he hasn't even bothered to look for another job. You, on the other hand, have never worked a day in your life, unless we're counting the money you extorted from other men. How do you know all of this? It wasn't difficult to find. The truth tends to leave a trail. And by the way, I suggest you repay the money you've borrowed. Your creditors are starting to get impatient. Wait, you met with them? Yes, I did. It's not unusual to investigate the background of a potential in-law, after all. It's almost as if you never really cared about Nicole at all. You meddling? The truth is, my family wants nothing to do with people like you, so please leave, or I'll have to call security. Oh, and don't be surprised if your creditors show up at your door soon. I made sure they knew exactly where to find you. No, you can't do this! You'll find that I most certainly can. Now, kindly leave before I make this any worse for you. You're insane! Talking to you is a waste of time! It's a pity you refuse to learn from your mistakes, but you know what's remarkable? Despite growing up under your toxic influence, Nicole has turned out to be a remarkable woman. I can only assume that her biological father was a truly wonderful man, certainly more discerning when it came to picking partners. How can you say that? You don't know anything about us! Oh, I know enough. I know that Nicole has had to deal with more than her fair share of challenges because of you. While you've been busy trying to undermine her, she's been working hard to build a life for herself and my son. She deserves to be happy, and I intend to see that she is. You think you can just come in here and dictate how things should be? I'm not dictating anything, I'm simply stating facts. Nicole has the right to choose who she wants in her life, and right now, that doesn't include you. And what makes you think she'll always choose you over her own family? Because family isn't just about blood, it's also about support, love, and respect, things you clearly haven't shown her. You don't know what we've been through. You don't know the sacrifices I made for my children. Sacrifices? Is that what you call it? Using your children as means to an end? That's not sacrifice, that's manipulation. You're the one to talk about manipulation. At least I'm not hiding behind my children to justify my failures. You think you're so much better, don't you? I never claimed to be perfect, but I do know what it means to truly care for someone, and that's something you seem to lack entirely. You're just trying to drive a wedge between us, but it won't work. No, I'm trying to protect Nicole from the toxicity you bring into her life. Toxicity? Look in the mirror! I am looking in the mirror, and I see a woman who has fought tooth and nail for her family. A woman who has stood by her son and his choices. You, on the other hand, are a stranger to your own daughter. That's not true. Is it? Because all I see is someone who is bitter and resentful, blaming everyone else for their problems instead of taking responsibility. You know nothing about my struggles. Perhaps not, but I see the results. Nicole shouldn't have to bear the burden of your unhappiness. What makes you think you can decide what's best for her? Because I love her like my own daughter. Because I see the potential in her that you refuse to acknowledge. You're delusional. No, I'm realistic. I see the truth that you refuse to face. You think you can just replace me? It's not about replacing anyone. It's about giving Nicole the support and love she deserves, something you haven't been able to provide. You're a fool if you think this will end well for you. I'm not afraid of your threat. I'm more concerned about the impact your actions have on Nicole. You're overstepping and you'll regret it. Regret? The only thing I'll regret is not doing enough to protect Nicole from you. You're just a stepping stone for her. When she realizes who really loves her, she'll come back to us. If that's love, then I'd rather be alone. But I have faith that Nicole will see the truth, just as I have. You think you're so clever, but you're just a pawn in her game. No, I'm not a pawn. I'm her ally, and I will stand by her side no matter what it takes. You'll regret this conversation. And you'll regret the day you thought you could come between us. I'll make you pay for this! Do your worst. I won't back down. Nicole deserves better, and I won't let anyone, including you, take that away from her.
The police interrogation is over.
Nicole, what have you done, you ungrateful child? Because you wouldn't let us in, we ended up getting reported. Do you even understand the trouble you've caused for everyone involved? This is unacceptable.
Didn't I tell you that you were banned from entering my wedding? Were you even listening to me? Of course you weren't. I should have known. I'm sorry for even asking such a ridiculous question. It's clear you're only thinking of yourself.
You think just because you became the CEO's daughter-in-law, you can act like you're above everyone else? Are you really that afraid of your husband falling for May? It's pathetic. If you had any real confidence in yourself, you wouldn't have to behave this way. So you know deep down that you're just an ugly pig.
I had invited my real father to today's wedding. Can you believe that?
What? Are you serious?
Honestly, I didn't want to meet you at all. I'm actually relieved he canceled at the last minute. He was so happy he cried when I told him about the wedding. It was a moment I'll cherish forever. One that made me realize how much I need to distance myself from you.
Wait a minute. You let my ex-husband in, but you wouldn't let us come inside? This is completely unfair. How can you justify this? You have no right.
Who has been treating me unfairly all this time? It was you. You treated me like a failure, using me as if I were just an ATM. And what about that man you married? You made it clear that I wasn't really part of the family just because we're not blood related. And let's not forget my little sister, who's been spoiled rotten by her parents, living in her little princess bubble. You all aren't a family to me. You were just temporary housemates who took advantage of me and my kindness.
How dare you? We are family. You can't just throw that away. You're being melodramatic.
No, my family is my husband, his parents, and my real father who came to the wedding today. That's more than enough for me. I don't need the toxic connections you offer. I've built a new life, and it's so much better without your negativity weighing me down.
How could you say that? Have you forgotten all the sacrifices I made to raise you? I endured so much pain and struggle just to bring you into this world. You owe me everything.
Endured? Really? Thanks to my husband, I've been able to see my situation objectively for the first time. Every day spent in that house felt like a nightmare. I am not livestock. I'm not a model, but I'm not ugly either. I'm not just some burden on your family. I'm a woman in my own right. I will be celebrated by many on my wedding day. One man has pledged his eternal love to me. I'm a human being with dreams and aspirations, and you're the one who's mistaken here. Do you even understand what a role is? What it means to be loved unconditionally? It's not about control.
What? Children are supposed to serve their parents. I know that. You've been so disrespectful. You are such a failure in every way. You think you can just walk away from your responsibilities?
Shut up, you pathetic beggar. You think you're better than me just because you gave birth to me? You're nothing but a burden yourself. I refuse to let you define who I am any longer.
What did you just call me? You have no idea what it means to sacrifice. You think this is easy for me?
You're worse than livestock. You're a beggar, begging for my attention and respect, strutting around like you're something special just because you're a parent. My life isn't for you to dictate. I refuse to be shackled by your expectations any longer.
Please, can you just calm down a little? This isn't how families should talk. We're supposed to support each other, not tear each other apart.
You should learn how to apologize properly. I'm cutting ties with you. No matter what happens, I won't involve myself with you again. This is it for me. I deserve peace.
Don't be ridiculous. How are we supposed to live then? What about all those years we spent together? You think you can just erase our past?
I don't care. Get a job, unemployed bum.